Do-do-do-do-do. Whoa, it's the 3 Limit Break Beyblades. Ooh, so cool. What are we gonna do with them? Are they for sale or something? Oh, yeah, okay, I get it.
There was once upon a time.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. And if you're new, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this video, and leave a comment. In today's video, we are going to do a comparison amongst all the 3 Limit Break Beyblades. And before we start, I have a question for you guys. Is the Cho disc balanced or not? You can comment down below your answers and I will tell you later. So let's start with the drivers. The drivers are all competitive parts. If I were to make a 5G deck, these 3 would probably be there, or at least these 2. So what are we going to do here is that basically I'm going to tell you what Takara Tomy is not telling us about these parts and what other Beytubers are not telling us as well. So this is actually good for stationary attacks. Alright, so most of the time this will just chill in the center, and if you want this to have a little movement, you'll just have to remove the plate or tilt launch it. But yeah, it stays at the center because the plate doesn't really touch the stadium. It's more of that plastic tip. So it's really good for stationary attack. Plus, the plate serves as a backup in case attacks don't work, and it leads to a spin finish. It provides LAD. Next is the drift driver. So this is the zone driver plus Z. The drift driver is best used for opposite spin battles because it stands. It's good for spin equalization and LAD. It rarely falls down on the stadium. So yeah, it's really good for opposite spin battles. And this one is good for redirect attacks. This is for stationary attacks. This is redirect attacks. What's a redirect attack? It's an attack that doesn't come from the side. It hits you like this, straight at you. It comes at you. This stationary attacks are, when the attacks are like when the opposing Beyblade is just side by side with you, with your Beyblade. And this is when the attacking Beyblade rushes towards you. Now, why is this not free spinning? Since the rubber tip, you want to be able to predict or control where your Beyblade will go. If this was free spinning, it would probably might touch the stadium floor, especially when you tilt launch it, and it could cause a different direction from what you were planning to do. So yeah, so basically it just makes the rubber do all the work for the direction of the attack, and the plate is just there for insurance of LAD in case the attack doesn't work. So which is the best driver? Actually, they're all good at their own aspect. This is for stationary attack, this is for opposite spin battles, and this is for redirected attacks. So yeah, they're all good, they're all competitive. It's just that I don't usually use stationary attack Beyblades, but this is good for that. And I don't really like rubber tips, but amongst the 3, this is probably my favorite. Now, the weakness of these 3 is they're all knockout prone, because all plate type drivers will just go up the ridge and it gets easily KO'd. But amongst the 3, this is probably the least, because this would just chill at the center. When you launch this, you make sure that you launch it in a way that it would cut through the center so that you will hit the opponent right away. This one, you'd want to avoid the initial contact because, again, this is knockout prone. This one, medium launch, because it's opposite spin battles. Always put this on a spin changer. Alright? Do not use this on a non-spin changer combo. You will lose. Because in same spin battle, this loses a lot of stamina. The flat tip, see, unlike these 2, the plate doesn't touch the stadium, while the plate actually does touch the stadium, making it lose more stamina. So yeah, overall, all 3 drivers are good. They are all knockout prone though, but it depends on how you launch them. So good drivers. If there's a reason to get these Beyblades, probably the drivers are the #1 reason. Now let's go to the disc. O disc, pretty balanced. heavy as well. So it's balanced and heavy. This is balanced and light. And this, I will tell you later. But I'm going to show you which disc is probably good or best for each of the layers. So for me, this is how they should have made it. Actually, yeah, that's how. Why? This is the lightest, and if this is the most burst prone amongst all Limit Break Beyblades, then you want a lighter disc just to prevent the burst to happen. Oh, let's just agree first that the Limit Break abilities of these three decreases the stamina, right? Or at least destabilizes them. The Limit Break abilities either decreases stamina or destabilizes them. Basically, this is for an attack type which is burst prone. I'll explain later why when I go to the layers. And this, since it has L3, meaning we want Helios to limit break a layer part. Actually, if we agree that the limit break abilities decreases stamina or destabilizes the Beyblade, we can also agree that their limit break abilities should be prevented or at least saved until the last part of the battle. For me, I mean, you can disagree if you want, but for me, I would rather that the limit break ability does not happen. Okay, so yeah, this is the disc distribution which I think should have been, but the problem with this is even though it's heavy, we have to sacrifice the part where it will limit break right away. It's on the second click. I mean, I do have another one, we could use that, but in a tournament, you can't use same parts. So as much as I'd want them to both limit break at the third click, this cannot be used by Hyperion because it's heavy. It will add to its burst prone risk. And remember, in a tournament, burst counts 2 points. Alright? So as much as possible, make your combos as burst resistance as possible. And knockout resistance as well. So yeah. That's the combination for me. And this is the heaviest, this is the second heaviest, and this is the lightest. That's pretty much about the disc. I'll tell you the answer to the question about this being balanced later. Now let's check the layers. So this is pretty compact. As an attack ring, it's pretty compact compared to the others. Can you hear that? With this you can't. See, hear that? Can you hear that? That means that there are loose parts, there are hollow parts, there are many moving non-fixed parts with these two compared to this one. And the shape is actually pretty good for attack. The only problem of the combo is that, I mean the stock combo, let's just put it back from how they were before, is that the disc is so heavy, it is going to burst right away. Plus, the limit break will happen at the first click. We don't want that because it makes it decrease in stamina. And it is more compact this way. So, my strategy in using this is for it to not limit break. Alright? Really good layer, really good shape, really good attack points. And it will cause a lot of recoil. So, you have to make sure that it doesn't burst and does not limit break. That's just for me. You can disagree with that. But I've tested it. And the combo doesn't burst at all. Or at least not that much. And this one is probably, it is the heaviest amongst the three. But look, it doesn't feel compact. So many gaps, so many moving parts. Is it good as a defensive layer? It would depend on the drivers, but yeah. Amongst these three, this is probably the only layer that I'm going to use in a 5G deck. Actually, if you watch the videos of other Beytubers, you would think that these two are the best amongst the three, right? Because this keeps on bursting and has poor stamina. But upon testing, actually, this is now my preference amongst the three. And this is the last one. Why? I'm telling you, you just make this not limit break and unburstable. It's really good. And there are not much attack type right spin Beyblades. You only have Brave Valkyrie and the Infinite Sword. But yeah, this is really good. It could matched with rage. This, what I find disappointing with the ability is, actually, in the anime, all of the limit break abilities are good, but in application in real life, they're just gimmicks, just to sell the Beyblades. Ooh, limit break abilities, cool. The limit break ability of this activates during launch and upon impact. Regardless of what disc you use, even if it's at the third click, it will activate. I don't know if it's just with my copy, alright, but it activates right away. It's not intended to be that way because there's a trigger point here. It's supposed to be hit by the disc first before it activates, but observe, guys, when you launch this, even though it does not hit a wall or an opponent Beyblade, just keep on launching it, and you will see that the impact when it hits the stadium and the launch, the release from the launcher can cause this to limit break right away. That means, regardless of what disc you use, it limit breaks. Crazy. And this one, I've proven as well, if you can watch my previous videos, this limit breaks upon impact. Not during launch, but upon impact. Even though there is no click, even though the disc did not cause the limit break, if it gets hit really hard, it can do limit break. And most of the times, just one side. Crazy, right? Just one side. I don't know if it's just my copy, but it happens. Alright? So these two activates without even being activated by the disc. This I haven't encountered. This one. So yeah. It has, probably because it's so compact, the locking mechanism doesn't move that much. So yeah, that's the advantage of this one. Now, what is the best layer among the three? I would have to say the attack type, because I don't know, when I make 5G decks, the attack is a priority. I only make 1 and 2 defense stamina hybrids. But yeah, for me, this is just because it's really compact and solid. A lot of people might disagree, but yeah, for me, it's this one. So yeah, I'll have metal chips. This doesn't have a metal core, it has rubber, but it's just heavier. Oh yeah, and one more thing. These two, the trigger for the limit break gets activated so easy. Look how small they are. And they are activated really easy. Just put small pressure and they activate easily. In fact, the what do you call this? I'm just gonna use this driver. If this has a reverse lock gimmick, it doesn't work on these because look at that. See the trigger point? It just stays under. It doesn't push this to the side since the spring is so weak and the shape is so small. See? Same thing with Helios. I mean the Volcano. But with this one, when the limit break activates, it doesn't stay on top. It doesn't stay pushed down. See? Even if you do it with your own fingers, it's still elevated. It doesn't go flat. So basically, it pushes back the disc, returning it to the second click. Unlike these two, it doesn't push back the disc. Look at the size of the triggering. Wait, need to lock it. Look at the size of that, and it's really hard to activate. You want me to prove it to you how hard? Let's set these things aside. We'll do a drop test, and it's really just like this height. Activates. Activates. Do you hear that? Look at that. Look. See? These things, these two, activates right away. Considering that this is heavier, right? Look. Oh, there it activates. Oh, see? Oh, just one side. See? This can push back the disc, giving it a reverse lock system. These two can't. The disc will remain on top. See? It doesn't push it back. Oh, this one will be off balance. Why? Because it only has one trigger that can be pushed down. The other side isn't. it will be like this. See, the disc will not be aligned. Crazy, right? So those are the major differences of the layers. I do prefer these two more compared to this. Helios is my least favorite. It is also the lightest. Now let's answer the question. Is Cho a balance disc? The answer is yes. It is a balanced disc. Look, this part is the counterpart of this, right? So basically the only thing that's missing here is this part, right? Right. Now look at this line right here. It's supposed to be this one, right? Look at the bottom of this. It's so thin. It doesn't have any metal under, and it's leveled with this part. Look at here. There's a part under, and it's above it. So basically what happened here is this metal that's missing was placed under these two. Look, there's metal under. If you cut this up, you put this here, it will fill in the gaps. Crazy, right? And look at it from the side. Look at it. This part, these two parts, is slightly elevated compared to this side. That means if you chop off some of that and put it here, look, if you chop these two, put it here at the gap, and chop part of this from the top, put it all here, look. It's a balanced disc, and I will prove it to you. If this is not balanced, then any slight tap would make it fall. See? We expect this part to be heavier. Look. Oops. I gave it a little strong nudge. See? If this is heavier, any small push would make it tumble here. But no, it's not. See? Pretty balanced. The gap that we see here, the metal that's missing, was actually placed under these two and above it. Everything else is balanced. Everything else is the same thickness except for these two right here. Look, it's thin. Look, it's thick. So this is a balanced disc. You can use this on stamina, LAD defense combos. This is okay. Our problem is it can only be used if you want to prevent the limit break from happening right away. It can only be used by a left spin. That is why I'm giving it to Helios. So let's just arrange them right away on how I think they should be used. The combos that Takara Tomy is not telling us, the weaknesses and the strengths. So there. I hope this was able to help you guys, and thank you for watching. For all your Beyblade needs, just look at the description down below. Bye.